Today is April 15th, 2023. My apartment's bugged from the FBI case, and I know the bad people have it. I'm rambling. They scattered. See, this has got to the point. It's a sextortion plan, okay? Um, where they take naked videos of you, embarrassing videos of you, and then they Photoshop them, and then they try to extort money. It's a federal crime. See, it is. It's a sextortion plan. They want these people to believe that they can kick in your door and you don't have a right to privacy. That is if they could do that. That they could actually put up button cameras and stalk you. Okay? And that they can get away with that. They can take pictures of you and your spouse in bed naked and sell them in sex traffic videos of them and embarrass you. And they won't get in trouble for it. They want you to believe that they can break in and date, rape, drug you with amnesia, drugs. You wake up throwing up, running to the bathroom, marks on you, and then a personal infection. Here you're getting beat, drugged, and raped. And that they have told you to say stuff, so you're sleepwalking. And I have already gave you like 4 or 5 things of where they've even framed like Eric on November 18, 22, Walmart 62, and told him to go and confess to the tapes before, and he had nothing to do with it, and he did it in Walmart 62 by the hair salon. Full confession. They got him high and told him to do it. They drugged him up, the poor man. They've done several people around here. They can't violate you. It makes you a victim. They can't do any of this and not go to jail. It is a disgrace they haven't. See, this has got to the point. See, that agent that picked up my case, I told you, someone told on me to Paymer at Apostolic Church of Barberton before I called the agent back that called back after the hotline. He left a voicemail. They had drugged me up so bad I couldn't get out of bed. And then I made myself get up out of bed the third day, went out and called Sarah. I got enough air in my face. Called Sarah, she had witnessed for me about her car, dropped it off the mall, and then we went up to Paymer's, and he was at Paymer's. Now, November 6, 22 at Trinity Gospel, investigators were talking that it was actually the agent that called me back. It was him telling on me. Now, see, it's going to come down to the point in time what that agent and his behavior, and now they made fun of him June 7th, 2023, that he's the biggest doofus in the world. Okay? Biggest doofus in the world. That FBI agent, John, he fell for the tapes before. What on earth? It was just a stunt. You mean that FBI agent actually fell for that tapes before? As if. You mean John fell for it? Oh my God, is that what's going on? Ha 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 ha. Sitting in there laughing at him like jackasses. Is that why they got away with everything? Because they fell for the stunt of the tapes before. Those were only a stunt. Full confession in Walmart. By the bathrooms. Ladies' bathrooms are fun. They tape an audio in every aisle. And people were talking mess, and we all heard him make fun of him for falling for the tapes before. He wasn't allowed to look at them. See, this is getting down to the point. He wasn't allowed to look at them. Because how would you even address this without being arrested on the first sentence? You cannot even go around taking pictures of the same person and follow him and take him. Stalking. 100% stalking. So what would they say? We've been surveillancing Karen on our own. Who would give you the right to interfere in her life? That's stalking. Hello, you're instantly arrested. Hello. How'd you do it? We kicked in our door. Oh God, dear God. How else did you? Well, we set up button cameras. We sold videos of her and Dave in bed. You did what? We have sodium pentothal reports. You did what? We broke in and date raped, drugged her, beat her, Pete raped her. What does she know? Oh, she's got bruises, she's throwing up, her heart's racing. She's been seen by the doctor. Doctor hadn't even figured it out that we were drugging her, beating her, raping her. She got bruises all over. She don't even know where all the marks are coming from, and the doctor can't figure it out either. See, how could they present that to him and not realize that it's a sextortion plan and they're predators? Huh? They can't even say a word that they were even watching me. They couldn't say they were in my home and stalking me. See, there's a whole point of time. There's a Fourth Amendment over the house. The right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person, who places your homes against all unreasonable searches or seizures, shall not be violated. Some man can't violate your home. Department of Justice at your house as a castle, it shall not be entered into. As people walk around me and say, we all know that idiot couldn't hire a stalker. He is a stalker. How could he, with his FBI badge, not understand what stalking is? Sextortion is. It's a sextortion plan. They want all these people to think that they can break in their homes, because they did it to me. That they can tape them unaware, sell videos of them online. They can Photoshop a shower scene, laugh that they did it. Where you have bruises, you're throwing up, you're getting sick. They can break in and date rape drug you with amnesia drugs to tell you to say stuff so you're sleepwalking, rape you, and get away with it. That they can do these heinous crimes and you have no rights. What the hell's wrong with that agent? See, that's where, up in Akron, the police were telling people not to say anything to me. They're like, do you think that agent fell for the stunt of the tapes before? He said he better not have known about him. There's a Fourth Amendment over the house. You can't even look or listen. Officer Reinhardt and Melissa, even the FBI would go to jail. Huh? It's a constitutional federal law. Nobody can be in your home but protected like cases with statements. See, the Fourth Amendment, even no searches, no seizures without probable cause warranted with an oath or affirmation of the people and the places and the things to be searched and seized. Nobody can be in your home. That's a big mistake. You can't stalk somebody. You can't do it in your home. It's a covering of the Fourth Amendment. See, that's the whole thing. He couldn't have known about Pete and Dave's stunt for Katie to embarrass me for the heifer thing in the mall where he had made that up with her. So her family could get him saying it to me and make me laugh in Macy's while she's in Coffin Oak, so they could all get me. Because they're such good, godly people, because we're talking like she's the most pathetic thing on earth, that she's making it up, that they're going out together, and here they are going out together, and he's leaving work, and he's telling me that she's just some pathetic spinster, making up that he wanted her. See what I mean, how manipulated he is? Yeah. Well, it was her sister and a group of the apostolics making fun of that agent June 7th, 2023 by 11 o'clock in the morning in Walmart 62 by the women's bathroom. They were talking about Maslin by the next day. We all heard them make fun of him for falling for that. Had no right looking at him. See, that's where Officer Reinhardt in Louisville would be illegal to look or listen. He knew I was being stalked, beat, raped, human trafficked. And what is he going to say? And they already told him they were drugging me and telling me to say stuff. They were telling everybody that in 18. So that means he knew that I called the FBI. Dave and Pete knew, right? Then he knew about where November 6, 22, they said it was the agent that actually called her back was the one telling on her at that church. And was him. Right? So there was no staying quiet while they investigate because they had me stalked. So where I tried to tell him on a recorded line, there was a man up that church, you liar. Dave told Danny April 15, 16, 23, there was an agent up at that church and he even talked to him. Officers have verified for our Canton investigators November 6, 22 at Trinity Gospel, Temple in front of people. That the officer said it was actually the agent that called me back and told on me before I called him back, oh dear Lord, and walked out. See, I told him on a recorded line that someone told on me, called me a liar. People even around my client in Akron, we all went over that church, and they all said they seen him. See, there's badgering laws to Department of Justice 1729. You have to take a victim or a witness or an informant statement, if you believe them or not, and follow through. If it wasn't him, it was Pete impersonating him, but there's a good chance it was John up there telling on me, okay? There's a point in time. I'm telling you, they'll just have to give him John's description of FBI Canton John. And you know what? They'll find out if it was him. And that's where it's going to come down to it. That he was obstructing justice on purpose. There's a whole thing. And then there comes a whole thing of when I tried to tell him about the guy at Huntington Bank, our Giant Eagle threatened knife me. That was a Detroit Boys' kidnapper. He's a serial killer in this area. And they were in contact with him. And he's already killed my one co-worker's family member and took my other house manager's niece and a bunch of other people. And all the kinds of people know about him around here. He stalks people. And that's who he let get away. Made me beg for my life to list me informant for life, $5,000 a month, but even when I tell, and then threaten me if I told. What did I tell him? Someone told on me in that church, and even the church people know. So whose fault is it? He didn't do his damn job. And pick up the phone and call Paymer and find out who was up there. His. Because why would he call me a liar? It was probably him. So, is there any staying quiet when Dave hired a stalker to stalk me, drug me, beat me, and rape me, and they already knew I called the FBI? No. So whose fault is this? The agent? Because he didn't do his damn job, right? There's another thing. A year ago, and how could he not look at this as a extortion plan? They want everybody in this area thinking that they can kick in their doors, set up cameras, and watch them. They want them to think that they can sell them on porn sites and they can't get them help. They want them to think that they can break in and they'll wake up, run to the bathroom thinking they got the flu and think, where did I bang myself? Then it keeps happening. Then all of a sudden their personal life gets infected. Well, women do get them. Then it won't go away. And here they're being drugged, beaten, raped under drugs. And so they're sleepwalking. And then people start coming up, well, we drugged you and told you to say this, and you were obviously drugged, but you didn't realize it because they're amnesia drugs. You just thought you had the flu. And it wouldn't keep going, it kept coming back and back and back and back. And here you're being drugged with amnesia drugs. It's not funny doing that to a human being. And he fell for that, and he didn't understand that was a sextortion plan. Is he the biggest doofus? See, there's a point in time. Last year, the news was in an uproar. Some FBI agent out of the state, asked told the foreman they couldn't say anything. We got an attorney and sued him. We have a First Amendment, freedom of speech. The press ripped the FBI a new one. They are only higher law enforcement. They don't have a right to ever tell anybody they can't say anything about anything. They're only higher law enforcement. They don't have that kind of authority. They're higher cops. It takes a sitting judge to take your freedom of speech to put a gag order on you. And in my case, well, not only could they not take my freedom of speech away, but the bad guys already knew. And I told that doofus. And whose fault is it? He didn't call Paymer. His. So was there ever staying quiet with them stalking me and some guy going up and telling all the churches? How did Katie's sister and her group find out about FBI agent John? They don't even go to Paymer's. Because they got to know him. See, my one friend from the prosecutor's office said there was backdoor deals going on in Stark County. That some of the officers and agents were bad. They were taking payouts to let people get victimized and killed. See, there's a whole point in time. They couldn't even have said they were monitoring me. How are you monitoring that stalking? You stay out of this. It'd be a police's job to do that. You don't have a right just to monitor somebody. That's stalking. You can't interfere in her life, and he can't hire a stalker. You can't be in her home. There's a right to privacy. Sir, you already know that. You're a judge. Hello? So did that agent. That's where the Akron PD, when they're telling people, don't say anything to her. What do you think that agent fell for the stunts of tape before? He better not have known about them. He better not have looked at them. See, that's where Officer Reinhardt, even the FBI, would go to jail for being in your home outside a protected lie case with statements. And they couldn't even look or listen. No one can. That's where my friend at the prosecutor's office heard a weird case of an officer taping some Muslim man unaware in his home, and the Muslim man went to a judge. And the judge said, you had no right in that man's home. He has the right to privacy. I can't look or listen. You know better. The officer can go to jail. The judge said he can sue you for this. He could sue the town. He could sue the whole department. See, nobody can be in your home outside a protected lie case with statements. They couldn't even mention tape before. Do we understand? Without being arrested. This is where the point. Now, did I ever have to stay quiet? No. I told him on a recorded line. Somebody told on me. So whose fault is it? If he didn't know about the tapes before, that he didn't find out being an FBI agent. His. Whose fault is it he didn't find out who was at Paymer's? His. And he didn't have the authority. And even my friend from the prosecutor's office, that agent don't have the authority to even ask you to stay quiet. He's only higher law enforcement. He doesn't have that authority. See, that's why I didn't believe he was real. And I Googled the office and I found him. He's very real. And that's where officers in uniform were carrying around the house. See, this is to the point where they mocked him for being stupid. These people are trying to pull a big sextortion scam down here so that other people think they can do it to them. They can't do it to me. And that agent had no right leaving me up there for a drug cartel and on a call to abuse me. I never had to stay quiet one day, nor did he have the right to ask me. And they can't, like my friend from the prosecutor's office, once the FBI agrees to protect you or any part of the government, they can't drop you no matter what. You will stand informant till you die. And they'll have to make sure that you're all right. He said that or they'll have to move you to another witness protection program. He said because they can always hire someone else to kill you. It's the failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. See what I mean? He said, and they can't just walk away from you. They'll go to jail. They can. See, that's where the whole thing of it, they can go to jail. See, I told the director of national intelligence, what are they going to say? They brought me some tapes before from in her house where her husband was having her stalked, beat, drugged, and raped, and sex traffic videos. She was being human trafficked under drugs. And you didn't arrest him? They already mocked him. Harold Stranger's Church already mocked him. And their family members in public for falling for that stunt. He didn't even have right. Somebody, you can't even walk around taking pictures of somebody. The same person keep doing it, stalking. You can't interfere in their life. See, there's a point in time they couldn't even say they were monitoring me. That's where investigators at Trinity Gospel on Sunday, retired Judge Pete better be lying to everybody and telling everybody he was lying. He was just fooling everybody he was in Karen's home before. We heard about some of the stuff that was going on in her home, and he better not have been part of it. He'll go to jail for it. See, there's a point in time, even kids outside my clients out in North Canton, they were talking. The other day before I went to work, I did that video blasting everybody. And they were outside, and I had the window open. They said, boy, you should tell those church people off. And they took off. And they said, none of this is funny. The FBI was involved and people got killed, and they didn't stop this. No, they didn't. Failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. He didn't even have the authority to ask me to stay quiet. And I already told him on a recorded line. They already knew. So whose fault is it? If he knew about the tapes before, He knew Dave knew. I called FBI. He was having me stalked by the retired Judge Pete. He hired him to do it. That's what he told Danny, April 15, 1623, that he hired a stalker. He was the only one out there drugging, beating, raping me. He was the only one taping her underwear and doing all those things to her. Oh, he's got her framed. No, he don't. He doesn't have anything admissible. It's the Fourth Amendment. See what I mean? It's just a big extortion scam. That's all it is. It's a big drug scam. My friend from the prosecutor's office calls it a fraud scheme. They can't do any of this. And see, that's where he said, where that agent talked to you, the only thing he did legal was list you informant with money and immunity. Everything else wasn't legal. You can go to jail for the way you talked to me, badgering laws. Embezzlement law in every witness protection program, informant thing comes with money. I never got paid. You cannot not pay me. They cannot not help me. See, there's a point in time, and then the sheriffs and marshals out of this area had to pick up that case, and then they got like 800 bad guys out of it that were connected into the drug traders that were human trafficking. See, that's the whole thing. He can't do this. And they need it. I told the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, see, you can't just walk away and leave somebody to a drug cartel to abuse and in a call. And open a case. And like that cop up in Akron, we were all told it's wrong to defraud anyone, especially victims. I'm going to upload this.